Alrighty, hey again everyone. Finally back streaming some more Minecraft yet again. Last time we were building the cloud top for another hour, and today we're finishing it. As I talked about last time, we need a decent little bit of stuff. We need more glass, and we need more glowstone. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be working on here basically. Um, Currently on layer 14 out of 16, and I think what I'm gonna do, I'm not too sure yet. I think the last three layers are going to be made out of white glass, which is what the top part's going to be there, right? So I'll have a trim of glowstone for layer 14, and then the rest of 14, 15, 16 will be made out of glass because I can choose to do that. So that's what we're going to do. So we're heading out to the trading hall to go ahead and actually go get some stuff. Shouldn't take too long to go out and do. And I'm kind of curious. I want to see if we can go ahead and just fly on out there because we can do that. If I actually remember what direction it's in. So I don't particularly remember if I'm going to be real here. Let's see here. Do I have any coordinates for the trading hall? No, I particularly don't. Yes, for the breeder. So negative 25, 239. I basically just want to go negative X and then we will hit it. So, which hey, that cuts over our funny little shulker farm out to the side. So if we just go straight enough ahead, then we should come across the trading hall, which makes life a little bit easier. And yeah, should be on the plains bit. Ah, there it is. There we go. I'll have to remember this. I don't tend to do this too often. Of actually flying here, I should start doing that more often. I should also overlift this trading hall one of these days. But I guess it's fine for now. Well, either way, we're here, so let's see what we can do. We're looking for a bunch of glass, and we've already got some. That makes life a little bit easier. I'm gonna get rid of all this netherrack. I don't remember what this was used for. Could have been farm related. Couldn't tell you though. Okay, I know I should be able to throw that away. There we go. We'll just go ahead and clean that out. It's not like it matters. We'll keep the end stone though, since end stone's a bit more annoying to go get, right? And we'll toss what we got out there. There we go. Should be a nice little chunk of glass to get us started with. And we got our extra iron blocks that we were holding on to. We'll go ahead and put our extra snow blocks away. And again, can't forget what we're actually here for. It is going to be for a mix of glowstone and glass. Forgot what it was called for a second there. That's okay. It happens. Let's go get that glowstone first. Let's go get the iron first, and then let's go get the glowstone. That would probably be a better idea. Alright, let's get nothing, actually. Let's get nothing at all, because it's not daytime yet, and they haven't refreshed their trades. So let's go ahead and sleep, and then let's actually go ahead and get something. Yeah, I don't know how much glowstone we're gonna need either, unfortunately, so we may have to make a couple of return trips, but let's just make sure that, we actually get enough glass for sure, and then we'll kind of go case by case from there, so yeah. But we'll give up some time. It'll be nice. I guess in the meantime, we can go check on the other iron farm. We still got that cured villager that's just been sitting there for however many months by now, so he's cool, I guess. Yep, who knows? Yep, life update stuff. Since the past couple of days that I've streamed, I've gone ahead and paid for my real estate course. It was $240, so it was a little expensive. Not a big fan of the cost, but hey, I guess that's what it takes, right? So I'm going to be working through that for the next month or so here, so it's going to take a decent bit of time away from me. Once it's all said and done, then I will have my real estate license, probably in the next 2 months or so, and then I can hopefully start getting some commission from selling houses, and then I can stop being broke, because that would be really nice. Or ideally, I could stop being broke. Don't know if that's actually gonna happen though, but hey, we'll see, right? And I'm kind of curious. I don't know if longer term I want to do like a remade trading hall because this has been a very good trading hall for everything I wanted at the moment. But I kind of wonder if I should make a bigger one that looks a little bit nicer. That's like an actual building and maybe touch up the village a tier or something like that. You know, could be interesting. That's a way long-term project though that I don't even really want to think about because we still have the actual base that we need to be bad practice to not finish the base that we're doing. I don't want to get back into that again. And let's make sure we're fixing up all of our tools and armor while we're here. We got nothing better to do with all that XP now that we got that gold farm. We should be fine. Alright, let's go trade all this for glowstone. We can start whittling this down. I don't have too many clerics, so we don't get a whole lot of glowstone from the others, but that's okay. We don't need a whole bunch, we just need enough to like light up the edges while I go build a guardian farm in the near future. I say near future, but it's not like that near, because I still have to grind for resources to go build it, and I'm not like that desperate of a need to get that changed, so I'm not gonna worry too hard about it. And yep, that bought me out. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and trade this for more emeralds. Get this done. I could always do something like void trading as well. I do know it exists, but it's one of those mechanics that I don't particularly like the idea of taking advantage of. Like, I would rather just have a bunch of villagers somewhere and just crank out more, you know, when it's needed, right? But I don't know. It really depends how I'm feeling. Oh, glass time. This will definitely get us more than enough glass, and we definitely have the necessary everything else that we should be fine. We've got the white dye from all the bone blocks that we've gotten from the wither skeleton farm, so we should be okay. And let's go ahead and drop all this off. And those guys are locked up. Let's see here. And these guys are gonna stay locked up, ain't they? Alright, okay. That makes life a little bit more annoying, but hey, that's a good enough start for now, I guess. We'll go ahead and just leave all that there. We've got enough glass, I feel, to kind of keep us going for now. When we inevitably need more, we'll come back and get more, but I don't feel like caring about it right now. I really just want to see how much I can kind of get done here in a good sitting while I've still got the mental energy to go do it. Because technically I should be asleep in bed right now, but unfortunately I have had such a weird time sleeping these past couple of days, and my sleep schedule has been completely and utterly screwed, so yeah, not very good, but that's alright. We'll get there one day. Probably. It's like 50-50. But who knows? Anyway, let's go ahead and head on back. How much glowstone we got? We might have enough glowstone to get some of this done, but it is a little hard to tell. But it can't hurt to just put down what we have, see what we can do. See where all of our glowstone went last time. We had to get this much, right? So, yep, we are basically just gonna take out all of our glowstone right here, and we're gonna do some counting. So, this is where it starts to get inset a little bit. We're gonna take that back with us too. We're gonna also try to not be fucking stupid. That's a bit of a taller order though, but hey, you know, if we could do it, that would be great. Alright, let's try that again. Put that there and there. And let's just try and get the inner layer done. That We should definitely have enough glowstone just to do this inner ring. The outer ring, I'm a lot more iffy on, but if I could at least get started on it, that would be kind of nice. Actually, we'll probably do like a restock trip after we do this, so we'll see. But let's see here. We got it on all four sides. We need 6 out in each direction, so yeah. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Nope, we need to do one more. Let's do that. See how this is going to be a little bit draining resource wise, but I'm sure it'll be okay. Probably. Alright, well, that's one stack down. So we need to do 4, 2, 2. Hold on, let's go ahead and make sure we're counting this correctly here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. We go out 1, 2, 3, 4. And then yeah. And we go 1, 2, 1, 2. And that's 1, 2. Okay. Yeah. So we got that right. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Do that. 2, 3, 4. 2. 1, 2. Then we do that. Third 2. Okay, there we go. I think we'll have enough to finish this inner ring, unfortunately. So it looks like we're gonna have to take a pop into the nether to go see if we can get some more. And I seem to have lost count, so that's 2, 2, and then last 2. Okay, there we go. And then it's just a bunch of connecting ones from here after we do the last one. We're still not fully done yet. Luckily, we'll have enough to at least finish this, so, well, minus the connecting bits, but that's alright. There we go. Okay. We'll do that for now. And, well, you know what? Why not? We'll go sleep in our own bed. We're right there. Well, we're basically right there. And then we're going to go ahead and take a quick trip down to the nether. I'm trying to think. I think, okay, the inner ring's gonna take about 3 stacks of glowstone in total, more or less. So the outer would probably take more than double, so I'm gonna probably try and get like 8 stacks. I think that'd be fair. Give that a try. Let's see if I can remember what direction my nether portal's in, because it's been too long. We haven't actually gone to the nether in a hot minute, so... Hop on in. And we'll pop on down. That's just the chunk load over there. Should make sure that's either, I should check the status of that because I don't actually even know if it's enabled or disabled, so probably do something about that one day. I'm sure it's fine. I should also put a better freaking door here apparently, because it would appear that a gas is blown apart everything. It's a little annoying, but hey, you know what happens. Then we get the fun of figuring out how the hell we're gonna get up here with a lot of this. Guess we can just fly up here at least. In the 1.16 snapshots, piglins used to actually trade glowstone dust or glowstone blocks. I forget which one it was, but they used to barter for glowstone. They don't anymore, because why would they? Because why would they have any other nice way to renew glowstone beyond witch farms? Which is a bit of a shame, really, because, I don't know, I mean, I don't find myself in a position of needing a lot of renewable redstone, just because I tend to get enough of it from mining, but at the same time, it wouldn't hurt. But you already got renewable gunpowder from creeper farms, and all that good stuff, so not having a nicer renewable way to get, no, put that thing down. Not having a nicer way to get renewable glowstone, I don't know, feels like a bit of a missed opportunity to me, you know? Maybe it's only an issue because I actively need it right now, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. And we could also build a witch farm. I'm not saying that's not something we couldn't do. We should have the location of a witch hut somewhere in our coordinate. I'm like pretty sure we do at least. It's like 50-50. But I know I've seen one. I'm very positive I have seen one. But I just do not seem to remember where the hell it is, so that's cool. Yeah, and that last one was our bartering farm there, so very cool. Oh, more glowstone pockets we can go up into. So we don't freaking die. I was surprised I made that. Oh, there's no lava below, so I guess we'll just mine up whatever we can. But yeah, I get some little bits of peace here and there. I'm working on a real estate course that I don't have to work too fast on, but I do want to try and get it done by my birthday next month, so it's like gonna take a lot out of me if I want to do that, and I think it is important to do that kind of early, you know? I'm tired of waiting on it, and I kind of just want to have it so I can actually start doing stuff, so I would really much like to have more dollar dues like everybody else does, right? So it would be nice. A lot of these weirder glowstone bits I don't really want to take any time to go get, I'm not gonna lie, so. But a little something like this can't hurt to go get, right? Ow. But yeah, on that continual grind to try and learn more to do more with the limited time and money I got, so it's very fun. Especially with college. Once I start actually going back to college again, now that I've got my bachelor's, once I start going back in the fall, that is going to be a whole nother world of hurt, frankly, because it will cost a lot of money, and I forgot how fucking stumpy these new ones are. I haven't seen any of the baby mobs yet in this world. I know what they've looked like, I just haven't seen them since the snapshot cycle, so they are weird little bastards, aren't they? Fine enough looking. I know the zombie variants are the weirdest of them all, but even then, they don't look like bad. They're just kind of whatever, you know. Can't complain too much about them, right? Well, I can complain. I'm choosing not to, but I don't have any complaints with them personally. They're just kind of, you know, nothing inherently wrong with them. A lot of the overworld ones are pretty good, but yeah, the Nether and the hostile ones are a little lacking. Want some nicer glowstone patches, but I think I'm looking for something that doesn't exist, so that's cool. There we go. glowstone was back at the bartering. Man, that was such a heartbreak to read that on the wiki to be like, oh yeah, maybe they've got it, but they don't. I'm not gonna lie, I thought I glided right into a lava pit. I was about to kind of shit myself because I was wearing my elytra, so would not have been cool there. Wouldn't have been unmanageable, but I definitely would have had a lot less time to react had that happened. But it's fine. Nothing bad ever happened. It's okay. Ow. But yeah, college is gonna be fun. I'm going for 4 degrees. I'm going for 4 master degrees. One of them I have to do in state because it's the tuition is locked in your residency state. It's a little annoying, but hey, I get it. But the other three are market rate dependent, so I don't have to be locked to good old Florida if I want to take those, which is perfect. So I can take the first one that I actually wanted to take locked in with like the resident rate, and then go take the other three as extras literally anywhere else because I don't want to live in Florida at all. I really don't want to stay here for any longer than I have to. It has just not been fun. But, it'll get better. Also, there's a blaze trying to shoot me, which I don't much appreciate. I get it though, but he needs to not. Nice little patch of glowstone in here. But yeah, it's gonna be fun getting all those degrees. I'm getting a degree in data science first, then in IT, then cybersecurity, and then to cap it off with computer science. I do 2 classes a semester for 5 years straight, which is a kind of a big workload. I will have 4 degrees because they also have dual major requirements and rules that are like they can only convert up to 12 credit hours from one degree to another to have it count for both of them. So there's like an optimal amount of credits that you can do as long as you do your classes in a specific order. There's an optimal way to do 4 degrees for basically the cost of 3 degrees. And since they're all in like fairly like related fields, I might as well go for it, right? Just because it's cool. Please die. Please. There we go. Okay, anyways. Yeah, college has been a big part of my life for a long time now, since 2018, if you can believe it, even before I started streaming. So it has been kind of odd to finally at least be partially done with it. There's still a lot more to do, but I'm definitely over the halfway mark of the actual time spent doing all this stuff, which is nice. Not the actual halfway mark though, because I've got 1 degree out of 5 now, so. And the next 4 degrees are all going to be in tech fields where my bachelor's was in finance and accounting and stuff like that, so it's a completely different field altogether than what I originally did, but not what I very originally did, so it all came back around full circle in the end. Which, hey, maybe it was for the best. I learned a lot doing what I did, and I don't necessarily regret it. It's just, kind of okay. Let's see here. 3017, negative 126. Okay, that's the way we're heading. Yeah, it's just gonna be a lot of learning that I have to keep doing, and I don't even necessarily want to take this summer as a break because I'm worried I'm gonna fall out of it again. Well, if I was still doing finance related stuff, I guess I would have been worried that I would fall out of it again, but because I'm not doing finance anymore, I don't think that's much of a concern. Because I actually do really enjoy doing data related stuff. It's just over the years that I've been working at like an actual job, I only stuck with finance because it was what I was going to school for, and it was like the only like professional kind of thing that like made more intuitive sense to me. Just because it's money, right? Like you understand a budget, it's money, it's not rocket science there, right? Like there's nuance and there, it's a little difficult, but it's still just money at the end of the day, and it's not like too hard to understand. Um, But as I was working, I started using Microsoft Excel a lot more, and I'm like, oh, I really get this. That shit just made a lot of sense to me, and it was already kind of scratching that itch that like computer science slash programming was already like trying to scratch however many years ago. And, I actually ended up really enjoying it, and I ended up becoming like the Excel person at my old job and stuff. It was really good. And even at my new one, that's kind of what I do as well. Like on paper, I'm hired for a different financial role, but it's my real passion and my real enjoyment comes from all the Excel and more technical things that I end up doing. So I'm trying to pivot career-wise to doing that kind of stuff. Like I still want to do good at the financial stuff that I was hired for because that's my actual job. And if I don't do good at that, then I, kind of get in trouble with my job, right? But it's not something I see myself doing long term anymore, unfortunately. Just because it's not even that it's boring. I don't necessarily mind things being boring, but it's like all their underlying infrastructure is just bad. It's not good. It needs to be rebuilt from the ground up, like really, really freaking hard. And I'm like one of the only people at the moment that can do that. I mean, they have IT people that can help with it on some of the more technical bits that actually require quite a bit of like background knowledge, but when it comes to like the actual day-to-day like technical improvements, like if I'm building out like a new file or a tool for somebody, then like that's kind of my thing. I don't really have anyone else to help with that, which I don't mind because I don't really need any extra help with it. But like there's so much there like for technical improvements that could be made that I don't get as much time to do as I would like because I'm supposed to focus on like the actual finance stuff, which is really frustrating because I really feel like I've got like a really nice skill set, all those kinds of like technical improvements, and I've got that actual good drive and passion to learn, but I can't really do anything with it right now just because of what my job is, which is a bit of a shame. So I gotta start working on that, get ready to make that transition one of those days too, because again, I don't want to do finance forever. It's not finance might be cooler later to come back to when I'm actually like an established like adult and I've like not that I'm not an adult now, but like I've only got so much experience and like maybe when I'm a bit more senior and I have that finance degree and maybe I can go back to college again for like an MBA and like business admin and all that stuff, then I could go into a more senior financial or data like technical role. But I think the main thing is like I want to be able to do technical stuff or that kind of technical planning as my actual job, and then I have finance and business as like more of a background and it's like context for that. So I'm able to translate business talk into a more technical talk and kind of act as that kind of bridge, you know. Because I don't know. I mean, I like doing both to some extent, but it's just kind of not cool with my current finance role. But who knows? I'll get there one day in the end. As long as I don't rush into anything and I just kind of keep doing what I'm doing and reach the beat of my own drum, right? That's really the big thing. Why the fuck do I have a beacon? What the fuck? Wait. Am I under the gold farm or something? Because that should be the only beacon I should be near. Yeah, this is definitely the gold farm beacon. Huh, that is weird. I mean, it makes sense. I just think about that is all, so. Uh, yeah. Who knows? Get everything done when I get it done. I heard about something in passing that there are, I don't know if you could even call them universities, but there are, I guess, universities, for lack of a better word, that like have better self-paced or like more extreme self-paced versions of these kinds of courses where you can crank out like a whole degree in a couple months if you like study and you like really like metagame the fuck out of it. And that could be interesting, but I'm not too sure how I would feel about doing that. Not as like a morality thing of like, oh well, it's not the right way to get a degree because that's dumb. The only wrong way would be to like actively cheat, as far as I'm concerned. Shit like ChatGPT or whatever to like try and skimp by on assignments and things like that. But otherwise, I think everything else is fair game. You know, learn as fast as you can, do what you can, and all that kind of deal. But I don't know. Let's see if we can land right on up here. Oh shoot, clipped an edge. somehow made it. But yeah, for universities that do stuff a lot quicker, I think that could be really interesting to do. But I'll probably take a look into that just to see. Although the other tricky part with this stuff too is the cost, right? Because you know, my scholarship money's done. You know, I had that for my undergrad degree. Undergrad degree's done. There's nothing left, and now I think I make too much money to qualify for any grants at this point. I only make 60,000 a year, which isn't like it's not bad money, but it's not like I'm making six figures and I'm like living like nicely or anything like that. But yeah, so that means I have to pay for everything out of pocket. It's not impossible unless I find another scholarship or grant, which is really freaking tough because I'm not like that stellar of a student or nothing. Or unless I get a job with like a more like aggressive reimbursement policy that's a little bit better on rules. But I somehow doubt I'll find a better deal for at least a while compared to what I have reimbursement wise. It's a bit of a shame, you know. It would be nice, but can't do too much about that. But yeah, you've got degree programs where if you actually know the stuff, you can crank it out in like a couple months and you can get like a degree from nothing there, which is really cursed. And frankly, I wish at least during like gen ed stuff, I would have known that or had thought to ask about that because those would have been like the easy classes to get knocked out. And then I could have spent more time to like spec into other things, which would have been really useful. But alas, that is not what has happened. Back at the base, we'll go ahead and keep planting all of our funny little glowstone. Be able to get this layer done. We got a nice healthy little bit. We can go trade for the rest if we need it later, so I'm not going to worry too much about it for now. And then the remaining two layers after this, numbers 15 and 16, those are going to be made out of white stained glass because I want it to blend with the cloud a little bit more. Yeah, back to college lore, right? Because that's everybody's favorite topic while we're playing Minecraft. And it's like, oh yeah, look at me, I'm employed, I have a job, blah blah blah. But it's all fine. I mean, I don't know. Wish I would have. Well, I wish I would have done a lot of things. But again, I started doing college stuff when I was 15 and 2018. So like, I literally could not have known what the fuck was gonna happen with anything ever because I was 15 years old. So like, you can't plan for a lot of those kinds of things, you know. But if I could do things differently, I would have. Even not even including like just doing the finance degree straight away, but more so just oh, this place is a fucking death trap when it's not lit up. Okay. I need to remember that because that seems like that could be a major issue. And I will be doing a bunch of lighting in here at some point. I just am not doing that right now is all. That is pretty nuts. I shouldn't have to worry about anything getting blown up or anything because if I do, that is going to be an issue. But let's make sure we place everything in here correctly. So we go out by one, so they're like touching diagonally, but not like vertically. And then we just fill in the corners until they touch again. And that's all we do. And that's easy, so yeah. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I wish I had done more earlier with college. Not earlier, frankly, but just I knew that this is the route I wanted to take doing college stuff because I would have had a lot of these degrees done already had I known. Is a bit of a shame, but you can only know so much at any one time. You know, things change, ideas change, people change, and you can't plan for everything forever. You know. And again, I don't necessarily regret doing what I did because I got to meet a bunch of nicer people. I got to learn a bunch of different things that's broadened my skill set a lot more in ways that I'm sure will help me out later. But yet to actually see them full swing yet, but I know they're out there. But it's time for me to kind of get back and actually do more tech stuff because that's just what I have more of a passion for, anyways. Or at least what I would like to have more of a passion for. Like it's more actively interesting to me. There's more money where that's at too, and I can combine it better with the stuff that I have that feels like it would actually be useful. So would be nice. But we got our first inner circle done, and I think we actually do have enough glowstone to get the remainder. We've got 5.5 stacks, so that does actually line us up pretty well here, I would say. But who knows? Alright, and these ones are going inwards. Watch this be like thunder. Nope, it's not. Let's not drop our bed now either. That would be kind of bad. The benefit to doing this glowstone as well is going to be spawn proofing the outer edge, because we can spawn proof the inside well enough. That's not an issue. But these outside, like, pokey bits that are out, these are way more annoying to spawn proof, so just having a bit of glowstone go the whole way around should make life a hell of a lot easier, so kind of why I want to do this. And I don't know if I'll replace it with sea lanterns. I might, but honestly, like, the glowstone and, like, snow slash cloud vibe kind of cracks, especially with, like, the aether and things of that nature. So I'm not particularly opposed to just leaving it as glowstone. It's also why I got what I got, but you know. Alright, so it's 5 on each end, so 2, 3, 5. Yep. And we will continue to do this. But yeah, I've got to get some of that stuff in check mentally as well, because I've been kind of going through a lot with work and but like I've been taking care of myself as much as I should have, unfortunately. So I need to actually go back to the doctor or something. Maybe see if I can get prescribed some stuff, because I've never really treated anything with medication in a very long time, so I want to at least give it another shot. Because I always feel, too, that's kind of the one thing that had been weighing me down when I was going through the depressive episode a couple of years ago. That's always felt like it's the one thing that I feel like I'm missing, where like I feel like I've got a lot of the pieces together on paper, but there just consistently seems to be, I don't know, some kind of like mental bit that I seem to be missing from myself. That once I can get that figured out, I'll be in a much better spot and I'll actually be able to do things and it'll be really cool. Or I'll be able to consistently do things. That's my big thing. Because like when I actually want to work, because I actually give a shit, I can do a lot of good work. But I'm not able to do it as consistently as I would like, unfortunately. So once I can get that handled, I mean, I should be able to do everything at that rate. But who knows? That means I have to go see a psychiatrist, and I've got to go back to my, general practitioner, and all that good stuff. But at least with the job I'm at, they have really good health insurance, so I can actually go get help, and it makes life a little bit easier. But it's a matter of actually getting that initial bit of motivation to go do that, and actually gaining weight and doing a whole bunch of everything else too, because I am way too fucking skinny, and I'm still struggling to work through that effectively. So that's always fun. But it'll get better one day. But I've actually got to do something about it to make it better, you know? Everything does get better, but you've got to take active steps to actually make it better, you know? Alright, well, let's see here. Doing good on glowstone still, at least. That's always nice. This is the most annoying one that I've had to do so far. I'm going to be real here. I don't particularly like it. But basically, we need to go diagonal out 4, which is why you're seeing me place these in kind of weird ways to link things up, because I don't want to cause any mistakes or anything. If I can help it. But yeah, this layer is going to take the longest, and, then we'll have to do the others. Which, hey, at least after this, we've only got 2 more layers, and all we have to do for those is just actually craft up the white glass, and we can just place it. We don't have to do any gathering or anything. We should just have enough on. Oh, not should, we definitely do have enough on hand for it. I just need to actually do something with it all. But yeah, I don't know if I want to start looking for another job sooner rather than later. Um, I don't know if it's probably like a grass is always greener until you actually get there and the grass is in fact not greener kind of deal. I think I'm just kind of going through like a mental rut with like my current work. So once I can kind of power through it, give it a couple months, give it some time, I think I'll be with it. Even just last week, I feel like I finally made some good headway on some of the work I've been trying to do. But it's just being able to do that consistently enough where I'm not falling behind deadlines and stuff like that. Because there are just some things that I hate doing with my job, and I'm trying to learn it and do it at the same time, which is always never a good idea. But I don't exactly get much of a choice there, do I? So not cool. But we're gonna do two and two there because we're gonna have diagonal bits that branch off of these two, and they're gonna be more annoying. So we're gonna get this easy stuff knocked out, do it in smaller chunks. Get there. I still need to stream baby steps again. I know it's been about a week since I last streamed it. I would like to keep streaming it, but at the same time, it's also one of those games that I don't know. It definitely will not be fun to watch while streaming because I'm not a particularly loud streamer unless I'm doing something in multiplayer. I don't know why. I legitimately have not ever figured out why that's the case. I don't know if it's more of like a trying to be better than somebody else kind of thing, or if it's like, oh, I'm in single player, so there's no repercussion for doing bad or anything, because you can just try again, and there's no like, oh, you threw the game because you're on a team game kind of deal, versus, oh, it's single player, who fucking cares? I don't know, but I would like to know. Because I seriously, even at like getting over it was the only single player game that made me like properly mad. I feel relatively recent memory, and that was still like 5 or 6 years ago when I was initially beating it. So it's not even like that anymore. But I don't know. Anyways, still have more building to do. So we're gonna do 2, 2, 1, 1, and it's all connected. That's the initial diagonal bit that we have to do. We do 2, 2, 1, 1. I think it's like that. I'm pretty sure that feels about right. There's two. Yeah, because if we're looking at it from the outer edge, that would be correct. Okay, we're getting there. Make sure to sleep, because we don't want to have any mobs spawning down below again, because that was quite the mess. And we're still doing good on glowstone at least. I also need to actually take a weekend to get ahead on a little bit of work stuff at work. Because of the larger projects I've had to deal with, they eat up a decent chunk of my time at work, so I'm behind on some of the smaller ones that I wanted to do and that are actually objectively really useful and good once they are done. But because they're not high priority, I do not get the chance to do them, which is really fucking annoying. So I got to figure out how to make better time for that. Unfortunately, I can't make enough time in the day to do that unless I take a weekend to do something. Which I don't want to do because it's, actually working on a weekend. But I mean, I can work at my own pace and I can like work for an hour and do nothing for 4 hours and nobody cares and I'm working on a weekend. So, hey, might have to look into doing that. But I don't know. Gotta try and get a little ahead. Or at least just understand better what the hell it is I'm supposed to be doing. Because that's also another thing too, because I'm doing stuff that I've never done before and didn't really go to school for, didn't do it my prior job, so it's all completely new to me. Again, I'm somehow responsible, not responsible, but I'm responsible when I'm supposed to be, or rather when it's more convenient, and then I'm not responsible when it's too new. It's all very confusing. So I'm the kind of person where I'm like, it's either my thing or it's not. I kind of want to know, you know. Let's see here. We just do two and then we connect it up. So again, no touchy bits. We are connecting up the last corners here now, which is good. There we go. And we should have enough glowstone for this. Perfect. So yeah, we did hit quite a good amount. That'll make life pretty easy. We'll have to pop into the base and go get some some of those bone blocks for white dye, because we're gonna need it for our glass. We're not gonna turn everything to white glass. We'll just kind of turn it in the white glass bit by bit as we need it. I think I'll make like 8 stacks to start with, because I should probably use up 8 stacks. I can see that being a thing I do, so. Especially because I have to do the top bit, and that, the top flat bits tend to take up the most, right? So, we'll see how that goes. Let's get that in there. This glowstone will also help keep the snow melt off of the glass, hopefully. Would be very nice. Looks like we got it all in place here. So we can go ahead and tuck that away. We didn't grab any white dye after all. Well, dang. But hey, we got another layer done, so that's quite good. I'm happy with that. Alright, quick pop in. These are our iron bits again. Yeah, I think we have enough. We have enough there to be okay. Let's actually also take a peek as well at our other farms, because I guess I just want to make sure that these are locked in a good place, and it looks like they are. Let's go check on our bamboo block portion, because we haven't checked on that in a hot minute. We've diverted all of our bamboo to be made into bamboo blocks, so kind of what I want to keep seeing, right? It looks like it is still producing, so that's good. Redstone hasn't magically shit the bed or anything, so that's always nice. I could assume it's the same deal here. Good Lord Almighty. Okay, wait, maybe not here, but, because that one hasn't rained in a hot minute. That's fine. Alright, let's go ahead and just dump a bunch of glass out on the ground. And let's go ahead and make some white dye. And we'll go ahead and put some of this back. Alright, that should get us plenty of white glass to get started with. And we'll put that random iron ingot in there. I'll probably toss that later, but I'm not going to sweat that for right now. Okay, layer number 15. Let's see what we got. So, it would appear that we need to go inside again, by the looks of it. Let's double check that. That would be correct. We're doing this completely inside, which is great. That makes life a lot easier. This is also the first time since the beginning that we have to do 2 wide stuff. So these next 2 layers and our last 2 layers that we're going to do are going to be a little bit slower than the easy progress we made yesterday. Saturday? Friday or Saturday? I don't remember and I don't give a shit, but in the past couple days, we built up most of these layers. These last couple are going to take the most amount of time out of them, so yeah. I mean, hell, just doing that 1 layer between the actual resource gathering and building took like 45 minutes, so not bad, but if that takes that amount of time for all of them, then that's going to be a little bad. So, anyways, let's go ahead and do some counting. So we got 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Yep, okay. 2, 6, 7. And we're basically just matching this up with the edges. Go. Okay, looks like we got it on all four sides. Okay. And we need to do 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do blocks of 2. Go. Alright, and then this should be the last one, and then we can move on to the next step. Whoops. Assuming we can build shit correctly, that is. There we go. Yep, that puts us at the next step. Okay. Basically a 3x3 without some of the corners. Yeah, that looks like that would be correct. Probably. I'm sure it'll be fine. Probably not something I want to eyeball, but these ones are, I don't know why these ones are so much more annoying to me. Maybe because they're thicker? I don't know. Let's see here. 6, and then 2, 2, 1, Okay, that is correct. Yeah, we were doing good. Okay. I mean, this is the last hard layer because I think we literally just fill in all the negative space after this. Pick up the next layer up. So once we're done with this, I mean, should be good. At least I'd like to imagine that's the case. Okay, and then we've looped around again. Okay. So we've done that 2-2-1-2 bit. Let's start over here from this side. And then I think this is just a normal connection. Because we did 2-2-1-2. And then we just do a bunch of ones to connect back up. Yeah, so that's good. We can get this layer, or this half of the layer knocked out here pretty quick. Yeah, that's gone forever now. I'm not going to take the center ridges out yet either until this is fully done. Just because they are nice as like guidelines for actually building things accurately. Maybe I can take the snow ones out since they don't really need to be there and the glass sticks out a little bit better. But still want to be a little mindful. Alright, so that looks like that was the inside layer fully done. And now we get to build outside layer. We don't need any extra stained glass for right now. We'll make some, but not right this second. Alright, and this is yet another double. So we want to branch in by 2, do this on all 4 sides. Alright, cool. And we line up with our edges yet again. Okay, we did on that side as well. Then we go out 6 blocks. Let's do another count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Do 6, 3, 2, 3. And let's actually make some of that glass now. it. And let's keep. No, do not do that. That would be really annoying. Not cool. Alright, that should cover us for now. I'm just gonna. Yeah, there we go. Not my problem anymore. Alright. Anyways, back to building. Okay, where the hell was I? 6323. Yes, that's what I wanted to do. Okay. Alright. Hey, we passed the hour mark today. How nice. Need more glass after all. I don't know if our shulker box was going to be enough, but it's not looking like it. We can go get more easily enough from the trading hall, so I'm not really too worried about it, but it's still something we need to deal with when we need to. Okay, so we've got that pattern done, and then it goes 1, 2, 1, 2. Hmm. Basically, we're gonna do. Fuck, this is so fucking annoying to look at too, because the angle, not the angle, but the orientation of it is really weird. Yeah. So we've got, let's see here. Looks like we'll need to sleep as well, real quick. So let's do that first before we actually start doing anything important. Okay, so 3 by 2 2, and 1. So it goes 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then that's what would start the chain. Okay. Let's go cook the rest of this into white stained glass. Great, there we go. What the hell am I doing? Okay. So let's do 1. Hang on now. Okay. So that's our 1. That's our 2. That's our 1 again, and then that's our 2 here. 1, 2, 1, 2. That's 1, 2, 1, 2. Alright, I think we're finding the rhythm here. It's a fucking annoying rhythm, not gonna lie. But we have found it, which is good. Yeah, all the numbers, by the way, as I'm talking about these different numbers on Plots Modeler, they're only on one quadrant, basically. So if the orientation isn't what you're actively working on, you kind of have to fill in the blanks a lot better. And it can be pretty disorienting because of the amount of turns that you end up having to make. It's not very cool. I mean, I get it, but it'd be very rough to kind of figure it out. That's why you just gotta brute force it a bit. Looks like we're good there. And then off of that, we just go by the diagonals and just connect everything up, I think. And it looks like it's 3 blocks wide at the tip of the 2 there. So basically we're just going 3 blocks out until it connects back up. You can see how we've got that natural, like, 3 block wide staircase looking bit, right? This is what we want. And then we do this on the other 3 sides, and then that will get us done with layer 15. Great. Alright, I think that is layer number 15 done. Hooray! Now we do 16, which, just as I thought, is luckily all of the negative space. So we would simply just go up a layer and start filling everything in, which is fine. This is also where I'm going to go ahead and start removing the other blocks that make up these corners. Alright, let's go ahead and get all this going. Go. Also do this on the inside layer as well. We'll get rid of all of the guideline blocks now that we're down to our final layer, and it's very clear what we have to do. I get it clear because there's glass. Call me a comedian. Hopefully they never call me James Corden, though. Anywho, let's go ahead and get all of these trimmed out of here. Luckily, it's pretty obvious where things should be going. And yeah, gotta say, from the inside, it looks pretty fucking cool, so, big fan. I will say, we will probably flatten out this layer for sure. Like, this is gonna be our actual floor level, right, on the inside. And then, maybe, and I'm still debating it right now mentally, but maybe we'll go up and have that be the floor as well. But I'm not sure on that yet. I don't know. We also need to come up with a way to get in and out of here that looks kind of cool. I feel like it's gonna be. I know I want one side to have kind of like a dock, like you would have for like a ship, right? And I want that dock to house the Happy Guest. So I'll probably make it wide enough that I can fit a Happy Guest into the dock, or I can fly straight through and then I'm in here. And the question on that is, do I want that to be on the inside wall or the outer wall? Because the outer wall would kind of ruin the outside illusion. So it'll probably end up being an inside, but being able to just fly in from the outside would be kind of cool too in its own right. Let's also hit F3 here, check the light level, 0. So we do have 0 block light where we're standing down here at the end, or at the bottom. So we will need to install some lighting in here, down the line. We could take our leftover glowstone. Maybe that would be a good idea. Let's line up the center. First, now I fucking think of this after I've taken the center out, but maybe we should build a path that cuts through or something. Down, maybe not a path, but we'll speckle in some lighting and regular nodes to make sure that this is lit up. So let's just keep it simple. So facing the outer wall should be 2 blocks of distance. We'll actually keep it super simple. We'll just do 2 in the center on each. So that way there's no guesswork and there's no chance of us making any mistakes here, you know. And it's gonna point towards everything. Yep, I that's what we're gonna do. Cool. Just out of curiosity, so we have a block height of 3, 2, goes all the way to 2. It's just as soon as you physically drop down, we lose the block height that we're looking for. So this should basically alleviate it pretty well. And then, in like the corners, we're basically just going to keep subdividing. We're going to go on each cardinal and place some glowstone. And then we're going to evaluate and say, okay, what's the center point between these two? It would be somewhere in here is where we would put it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we would go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, just to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do a little something like that. And we're counting our 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between our 4 and 5 is where we'll be putting our diagonal bits. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's do another count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, and let's do our last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our final count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Good on all sides. Let's check our black light. We do have yet another dark spot, unfortunately. So at the corner of that 3 there, that's what we'll do. Actually, no, we'll put a single one in the center. Okay, so at the 2-bit that's there, we just go out diagonally. Yeah, okay, I can deal with that. That's fine. But it's more or less even anyway, so what do I care? Although it is odd that it's going to be the only, like, one, but if I really need to, then, I could make that not the case, but I'm not gonna worry about that. It's too small of a thing to really be thinking about right now. Especially because we just need to get the rest of the glass cranked out here, so. There we go. Okay. I'm pretty happy with that. I don't really have any issues or extra comments on it. It just kind of is what it is. Make sure we get the remaining ones done. However, here we go. Alright, cool. You got your cardinals, your straights, your diagonals, and then the intermediaries between a cardinal and diagonal is a single block. So it can act as like a cool compass, honestly, which could be really interesting. I mean, we have, the F3 menu showing us what direction we're facing, but just to add, shit for the sake of adding cool shit, can't hurt to do, right? So, and then let's let's go find our block here, and we are gonna start finishing this up. So basically, I'm just gonna go around the edge and get all this filled in as much as I can. I think we'll probably try and do like a quarter at a time or something. So we can see some amount of tangible progress. It's already noon, not cool. Alright, that is a quarter. That's the rest of our white stained glass, and we are definitely gonna need to go get more. Like, we will 1,000,000% not have enough of this at all, so yay. It shouldn't be too hard to at least go out and trade for some, but it's gonna take some time is all. But I gotta say, it's been looking pretty cool. Finally get Plot's Modeler out of here too, which is nice. And I think we're also gonna take that trip back to the trading hall because we're gonna have to go start getting some glass. So yeah, we'll go start working on that now. Luckily, it's just a quick flight over. There we go. Nice and simple, right? Alright, let's see here. Let's place down our box. Put our glass away in there for now. And we're just gonna go ahead and sell out. we go. We'll take our iron. Go ahead and make sure to sleep real quick though. Just because these guys are still going to be kind of inactive while I'm waiting for them to start in the daytime so we can still trade with them and not waste a cycle. Sounds like it's raining. Is it thunder? Nope, it's not. That's alright. Just figured I'd double check. Okay. That's a healthy amount of glass to start with. That might be enough to finish it, so we'll craft what we got here into white stained glass. And we will see what we can do. Yeah, it should be enough to get us started. Maybe not to finish it all, but it'll be pretty damn close, I would say. Wish it would rain more like this IRL, because we could really use the rain. And I could really use it making things cooler in Florida, because it is fucking hot, so not cool. It's now like consistently 90 something every day, which I love, and it's my favorite part of living here. It's very cool. I used to really like the heat when I was younger too, but I don't know, maybe it was more because I was in the pool a lot and all that kind of deal, and it was nice, but now it's just, I don't know, now it just seems like it's so much worse. But who knows? Alright, let's get this finished up, and we will probably call it once it's done, because it's been an hour and a half. We'll probably be done by then too. So, right, rude. I think it also would be cool to punch out some of these and add windows. I feel like it'd be a missed opportunity if I didn't, you know, have windows going on like the outer wall looking out. And then I guess that could tie in with the tunnel bit a little bit better as well. We're getting ready to finish another quarter here, so we're doing good. And it looks like some snow does still manage to form up here, unfortunately. Now, we could cover the top with like string, but I also kind of don't want to do that. And I really don't want to use carpet either, obviously, because we don't want to cover everything up. So we may end up having to use string. We'll see. Figure it out, and it's not too pressing of a deal either way. Since most of this is rain, I know we do have some snowier sections out in the distance, but I think what we'll do is we'll leave it completely alone for a while, kind of let some snowfall build up, and then that gives us an idea of how much lighting we actually need to deal with, and then, we'll deal with it. I don't particularly want to install lights in the ceiling either, but we may mirror what we have down below depending on what ends up happening, so who knows. I'm just happy to get the main structure done for today. I'm not going to sweat all the smaller details at the moment. There will be a time and a place for that, but not today. Doing the glass is our last stack before we have to dip into our shoulder again. And yeah, we should definitely have enough after this, so should be good. Alright, white stained glass. Get another quarter, effectively. And that puts us down to our last quarter here, so yeah. We're gonna finally get this done today after sitting on this project for a couple months. Gotta go through and finish the gauntlet, so incredibly fulfilling to actually finish stuff again. And this is probably one of the larger projects we've done in this world as well, too. This isn't even 10,000 blocks, by the way, but it's not nothing, what I mean? Seriously, it just takes a while to gather the materials, place them, and actually have the idea in the first place is also a bit time consuming. But now with the happy gas being in the game, and I talked about it more when it was, I guess, newer, but it will be cool to have more verticality in builds because of the happy gas, actually being able to transport things up and down, populate sky islands with villagers or animals or things of that nature, actually make it feel properly lived in, not just with an elytra, but because you actually have the flying means of transportation. That's pretty good. You don't get to really get to do that, or you didn't really get to do that until the flying gas, the happy gas came around. So it's been good to be able to work in. It's different. I'm Plus, I don't know, there's always something inherently cool about sky bases, so it's always a pretty big selling point, I would feel. But what would I know, right? Alright, we are final stages here. We should have just enough glass to get all this done. So we are down to our last couple of stacks here. And that should do it. We are good. Shame that it's raining, but I'm gonna kind of wait a little bit to see if it'll stop raining. So I really want to take a look at this from above with some extra, with the lighting and all that kind of stuff still on it. Go ahead and grab some extra fireworks here too while we're at it. Got nothing better to do, right? And we'll go ahead and put away the spare glass that we have. If anything happens, we got enough to do some patchwork. Not that it should ever get that far, but hey, if it does, it does, so that's alright. Bed there. Book there. Yeah. And while we got some time, let's look around to see how this snow melt's been here on things. Uh, Mainly looks like it's on like the border where the light's just out of reach of it, so it's a little, but it's only that teeny tiny little bit that we'd have to worry about. So nothing too bad, but still something worth keeping in mind, I guess. I wish it would stop raining though tonight, so I can go fly out in the distance and go see this thing from afar. Whoa, that's weird. That doesn't exactly feel correct. That feels like a lighting bug. I'm pretty sure that's a lighting bug. Also get our spyglass out here too. But yeah, no, we got it done. Should be symmetrical on all sides. Shouldn't have any issues. Again, thinking about installing some windows or something. Those bits, and then you can have actual tunnels going in and out. Probably have like docks on them or something like that. When we get to there. I don't think, and I don't know for sure, but I don't think I want a physical connection to the central tower. I don't think it would be a particularly good idea, so we'll leave it floating around it because that looks cooler objectively as far as I'm concerned. I wish it would freaking stop raining though. Seriously, why does the rain in this game take so long to go away? But yeah, I guess future plan wise, I think we should scale back for our next couple of streams at least. You know, let's do some more simple things. Let's just get back to our roots here. You know, let's go farming. Let's go build a big fucking set of field. Let's go light up some of the plateau that we've got. Let's go build that nice little bridge. Things like that, you know, little things. But looks like our rain's finally gone away here. Let's go ahead and see if we can. Yeah, I like that. That is pretty fucking cool. Alright, a couple of things. I took a couple of screenshots there. Really like the lighting on it. I think it's cool as hell. Alright, now we should be able to land on one of our funny little trees over here. I should build a proper observation tower, I think. Like right where one of these trees is. I think it was this giant oak that I tend to use historically. Yeah, this gives a pretty good angle of it. Yeah, and again, we're gonna stretch the tower a bit out to be a good bit taller, because now it's too short and hidden. And again, if we're gonna do this like the handle of a sword, and then the pommel at the top, and actually having like the cross guard, things like that, we're gonna have some extra work to do. But again, just get calcite and stretch it up taller, and it's fine. But yeah, super cool and good build. Pretty fucking happy with it. Can't complain too hard. We'll go ahead and sleep in the bed, and then we'll check on it while it's daylight out too. Also gives me an excuse to reset my spawn point again. Let me also go ahead and save all these screenshots. I should be able to get to my screenshots folder and find these right. Give me 1 second. Let me Google this. Users, app data, roaming, Minecraft. Yeah, perfect. Alright, cool. I got that pulled up. Very swag. And we'll go ahead and take yet another flight out. Good. Let's go try and take some more from a shallower angle. I guess a steeper angle. Go out to here. Let's see if we can take one where it's like peeking from here. Yeah, here we go. And then when we actually get like the top part built out a lot taller again, probably build that up to world height, and that'll look even cooler. And then we'll try the little valley that we have over here as well. Yeah, pretty good. That's enough pictures. That is gonna do it for me for now. We got everything we ever wanted with this at the moment, beyond just making the tall parts taller. And I don't know if I want to expand the elevator up to that height. I don't think I will. So I'll have it be more of an actual like tower with like some extra room and stuff like that. But yeah, we are finally able to say that we finished a project again after all this time. So that is pretty freaking cool. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and I hope to see y'all again soon. Bye bye.